There's an interview I did with one and only former Harambee Starlets head coach, David Ouma. It's all about nurturing talent, and he's doing that at a school at Kahawa Wendani. Let's listen into how that discussion went down, and we'll be back after that. When it comes to nurturing talent, and I'm talking about football talent, there is one name that cannot miss out of the best coaches in this country. I'm talking about none other than Coach David Ouma. I've known him since I was below 5 years of age, and we've seen how they've grown in terms of nurturing sports talent in this country and football all the way to the national level. But today we are here and we will be talking all about an academy that is associated with the coach, and we just want to know what they are doing and what you can do to enable your child learn among the best. Coach, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity.
Yes.
I know I cannot introduce you any better. There's no words to actually introduce you and say what you do, but I'm more than glad to be here sitting with you. But just tell us a bit of what goes on here, where we are, and what the academy is all about.
Yeah, my name is David Ouma, and I'm currently the sporting director for Sofapaka Football Club in the Kenya Premier League. And of course, I've been previously a head coach for the women national team, and also the deputy coach for the Harambee Stars, the men's national team. So of course, I'm privileged to have you here. And of course, as you know, Florence, you by yourself, you are a football player, a midfield player, and during your time, you are a very skillful player and very direct-oriented. So I think the ability of nurturing young players or young children has always been with me. However, the level that I can go up, but every time I have to go back on the ground. And that's why we have, currently we are here in school at Urafiki Karovana in Kawaskari, where we normally have our training session on Saturdays. First session runs for the academy that's called Pro Legend Elite Performance United. And the reason why we call it elite, despite being a youth program, is because nowadays football or sports is a career. So they say that you have to have the end in mind. Yeah. And for us, the kids that we normally train with them, around 80 kids every Saturdays, when the schools are closed, they train at from 10 to 12. And that's the first session, and the second session is from 2 to 4. So normally that's the running program. And when the schools are closed, they train every day, 2 times. So it's just like a school. So for us, the kids report at 9 in the morning and have the first training session. Then they study 2 hours in between the training session, and then they practice in the second session, which is at 2 to 4. So this is the normal program that we have with the academy here at Kawaskari.
Coach, when I was very young, around 5 years, I really enjoyed playing football. How do you spot talent? Because up to now, whatever you taught me, nikiwa kwa uwanja, I'll still play football. Yeah, maybe not to that level,
yes,
but I still remember everything that you taught me. How do you identify talent?
Yeah, I think like, for example, you put it right, Florence, like in your situation, of course, when you are developing at the age of 5 years, first of all, I have to look at your coordination, the way you are running, the way you are falling, the way you are raising up. I think you are more stable in these conditions. So it wasn't difficult for me just to try to activate you to run properly in a different direction and change of direction, because that's the most difficult part for the game. Because you know, as football it is, or sports as it is, first of all you have to have the ability to have the athleticism skills, which is incorporated with the coordination situation. So for me, that's the key part. Then I look your interest, your willingness to play the game. So like for you, I think you are really motivated to play the game. You are chasing the ball at all costs, and this was a good measure for me now to start to develop you on the skills that are better and will help you in the game. Like for example, 1-against-1 situation. Then I was happy to see, are you a player that is directly oriented to goal, or you go more wider which I think you are more direct oriented to goal. So I put you as a position number 8 in the field because you are too direct to and fro to the target. So I think these were the things that I was looking on. Then thereafter, because now I saw that you have the ability to have good movements and you had the skills that you are developing, especially the technical skills that for football, which is dribbling, passing. So thereafter, I had to now start asking you some questions and putting you in conditions that you can play football. For example, to have vision, how you behave with one against one, how you behave when you are faced with 2 players, when you are faced with 3 players. It's because to get that confidence. So I think these are generally what I try to instill in that moment. And I'm really happy that you developed strongly as a football player. And that's what I do also with young kids, so that when they come to grow up, until today, for example, as you say, you can play the game because these are the ingredients that you possessed. So for me, these are the things that I look, and every time I would like my players to have their space during the games to show what they have. But in the training, it's a learning environment. This is what I try to do as much as possible.
You know, it's very important to talk about age. I think why I cannot forget what you taught me is because of the age.
Yes.
I started very young.
Yes.
Grew with the ball. Became very comfortable with it.
Yes.
And that is why even today ukiniaa kwa situation ya ball, I'll still play.
Yes.
So which ages would you advise? And currently at the academy,
yes,
from which age are you recruiting?
Yeah, and also you have well said it. And you should remember also you played a lot of matches.
Yes.
That is the trick. You know, most of the academies, they train the kids, but they play minimal matches. So for me, to advise properly, you saw at your age, you started with 5 years. This is what the Europeans do. They start to do the talent search at the age of 5 years. And this talent search, it's about how the kid is running, how he's falling, and these are the ingredients that's for you as a coach. You have to see at the early stages so that you can know the development process or the growth part of a player. Yeah. So for me, the encouragement at this moment, it's the 4 years going on up. Yeah. And we have at the academy, we have different ages. We have the under 7, we have the under 9, we have the under 11, we have the under 13, we have the under 15, and we have over 15. Yes. So for me, I believe that when you groom these kids at the age of 13, you should be able to project a player if he'll stay to play football at the age of 15, or he has to take a different profession.
Coach, I remember playing with girls who are really older than me.
Yes.
A couple of years older. Why was that decision? Because not all of us in my team got that chance to play with older players.
Yeah, I think you are a quick learner. And this also gave you, for me, you see football also is considered, you have to check 3 things as a coach. You have to see, for example, for you at your age, you have to play +1 or +2. Yeah. Sometimes I put you to play even in a +3 because of the skills that you possessed. So it could have been unfair if I could put you in the same age category with your age group, which already your skills and you already was greater than your age. So for me, I think I had to put you in a different level so that I can challenge you. So, and I think this one, you handle them properly, which is something that also I do in the academy for some kids. You find a kid is, like we played last weekend in the League Indogo East Africa Cup. My under 7s, they played in the under 9 level. And shockingly, I can tell you, one girl at 10 years, he was playing in the boys mixed team for the under 15, just like what I used to do with you. Yeah. So for me, I try to see the skills of the player, and I have to always not allow that you stay in a comfort zone. Yeah. I have always to challenge you so that you can find new solutions. You can test yourself amongst the best in all situations, so that you can grow optimally. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, the education that you get there, socially, you become stronger. Yeah. For me, I say it's about brains, because I cannot separate the mind and the brain, because it's the part of the body. So I try to make sure that I put you in a way that you become more relentless in what you are doing. And this is something that I'm proud that you can see also. you are still keeping on the track in matters of sports.
Coach, let me tell you, the things that you taught me, they are not only applicable
Yes.
in the field of play.
Yes.
For example, talking about things like being goal-oriented,
Yes.
being disciplined, I believe these are things that I actually have carried on to my career as a journalist.
Yes.
And lucky for me, I know I'm also a general news person, but also I have a bias in
Yes.
sports and a
Yes.
bias in football, to
Yes.
be precise.
Yes.
But those things that I was taught back then,
Yes.
being very goal-oriented, being very disciplined,
Yes.
I still carried them to become who I am today.